Hello and welcome to Persia Summer Tournament 2023 Glory for Pisa. So this tournament is played for Persia 1 for the MS-DOS, and you might notice that I am not eraser, and there is a good reason for it, and that is the fact that eraser will be playing his match in this round. So this is round 2 match between eraser and Exedzel. So eraser is the seed 2. He needs no introduction. He's a runner of both the Sand Trilogy as well as the original DOS games. He is the world record holder in Pop 1 NMG as well as Pop 2. He is the first one to get sub 18 in this game, as you can see in the bottom left corner. And just hours before the this match, he has gotten world record. So he is in red at form. But do not count out Exedzel because he is the seed number 17 and he is a relatively new runner, but he has been rising up the leaderboards quite quickly and he already has a sub 20 run. And not to mention, he has beaten Eraser himself in a race not long ago. So, without further ado, let's start the match. So, both of them starting, and it's always fun to see until the video is synced basically. And I promise I'm not playing the same video twice. For the level 1 skip, Eraser is doing a setup to climb up at the correct time. Meanwhile, Exedzel is like, I don't need setup. I'll just be time it and be frame perfect basically. So in this level, normally you will go all the way to the left to collect the sword, but you can actually get around the guard like this and it saves a lot of time and you automatically get the sword at the end of at the start of level 2, so you don't have to worry about that. So both of them finishing level 1, and now the fun starts because RNG will come into play starting from level 1. Both of them getting a good pattern in the first card, but unfortunately Eraser stopped a bit too early, so he needs to do a couple of air jumps before the auto he gets in range for the auto snap to trigger, and Exedzel and both of them deal with the second guard perfectly as well, but Exedzel has a slight lead for now, and Exedzel getting hit by the second guard, so it's Eraser back in the lead now. So that's what RNG can do. Like they have already traded leads 2 times just in this level. Exedzel taking the third guard a bit safe, which is smart to be honest, because he only has 1 HP. And Eraser dealing with the rest of the level perfectly, aside from that one small hiccup at the start. Exedzel opting to do a safe way of dealing with the falling tile because sometimes it can not just take 1 HP but 2 HP, which would be really unfortunate at this point. So even though Eraser is slightly in the lead, uh, Exedzel is pretty much on his tail, so that is really good. So both of them are starting level 3, with Eraser having one screen lead basically. So Eraser is opting to not do the crouch strat to, that because that saves little time but is really risky. If you are late, you will fall to your death and you have to restart the lap. Exedzel opting to restart at the checkpoint. This strat saves 3 frames, but it can be dangerous as if you are too early, then it basically puts you at the start of the level and you have to redo. Eraser getting the turnaround, and now Exedzel also get the turnaround. So far this match has been really close, but Eraser is in the lead thanks to slightly better execution. So we have seen this kind of the same pattern in the earlier match between Esteban and Showing. So like these higher seeds know what they're doing and their execution will always be inevitably better. So the way you deal with them is playing consistently and constantly putting pressure because in this game like one frame of wrong input can cause a death, and when you are under pressure and you take a death, then it's basically over, especially in a level like this where the last guard can be a troll sometimes. Eraser not opting to kill the yellow guard, which can be risky, as we saw yesterday in Esteban's runs. And Exedzel also opting to not kill. Like he is little bit behind and he wants to take risk to catch him, which is respectable. And Eraser deals with the guard perfectly and goes to level 5, maintaining his lead. And we'll see what Exedzel will do. Exedzel also handles the situation perfectly. He has to parry a couple of times, but good reaction from him. Eraser also getting a decent pattern for the first guard in level 5. Like this guard, you had prayed to get a fast switch, otherwise it's wastes a lot of time. Eraser opting to go for the risky method and it pays off. And meanwhile, Exedzel goes for the traditional approach, which is to hit the guard and make him stay in the upper floor. So Eraser breezing past the last two guards and maintaining his lead. And same with Exedzel. He also deals the last two guards flawlessly. It's quite interesting how even though Exedzel didn't make a major mistake, like he's behind by a full level 6 basically, thanks to small execution errors like the level 4 turnaround, etc. And Eraser getting a really nice first guard in level 7, and Exedzel also dealing with the bad guard perfectly. So Eraser is coming up on the turnaround. Exedzel also getting a good first guard. Eraser gets the turnaround perfectly, and so Eraser is coming up on one of the guards that the community lovingly named Roberto, and he has a chance of knocking the prince back to the lower floor, which wastes a lot of time. But thankfully, Eraser got a good pattern on Roberto. So Exedzel taking the turnaround safe. It's a wise decision because restarting this level might, it obviously wastes a lot of time. After his hiccup in level 2 start, Eraser has been basically perfect. It's almost like he's going for another world record at this point. But Exedzel is also getting a really good Roboto pattern. And even though the lead has grown quite a bit, uh, Exegel is still on Eraser's tail, so that's really good. Unfortunately, Eraser didn't get a decent pattern for that guard, which is actually really rare because that guard is one of the most deterministic guards in the game. He has a very low probability of not cooperating to the strat, basically. Exegel doing the chill strat for the first guard, which honestly, given the pattern eraser got gained him a little bit of time, and eraser is going through the level flawlessly. So once you reach the top floor, everything matters in this level because there is a strat called mouseless, and everything is in a timer, and you have to uh, like basically make the correct cycles and stuff. And unfortunately, Eraser is not getting a good orange guard. And oh, so Eraser tried to do a strat where he can keep his momentum, do a turnaround, and continue doing merciless. But he miscalculates and he falls. And no, Eraser has taken a death. Now Exegel is in the lead. So this is unfortunate for Eraser, but it's good for the match because everybody loves a close match, and we know Eraser can catch up with his execution. But if Exedzel continues to play the way he has been playing, this should be really good for him. And even though Exedzel took a damage, he gets the mouseless cape and finishes the level like a champ. And he is officially in the lead going into level 9. Eraser continues his second shot at mouseless, and Exegel perfect movement in the to get through the chomper and the gate there. Let's see how his uh, first guard will be. Oh no, unfortunately he gets hit twice. This is not good. In level 9, HP is always more important. Like I can get to the final guard with 4 HP and I can see myself dying there. So HP is really important. Meanwhile, Eraser getting a flawless mouse cube, damageless as well in his second try. Exedzel having trouble with the second guard as well, and now he's down to 1 HP, which is really scary going into the last guard. And Eraser has started his level 9, gets through the first room perfectly, and Exegel having some trouble with the turnaround, but he gets through it. Like being in this kind of lead with when playing against someone like Eraser is like really scary. It's like playing Warrior Within and the Dahaka is chasing you or something. It's a similar feeling because you know Eraser will not make two mistakes in a run, and his execution is going to be precise. And Exedzel timing the jumper perfectly, and now he will has only one guard standing in his way to completing this level, and he has, oh no, Exedzel has taken a death in level 9, which is really unfortunate because this is the longest death and probably the biggest race killer. Meanwhile, Eraser is getting good patterns and continuing to breeze through the level, and Eraser does the standing jump alignment trick to get through the jumper, which is actually really fast and convenient because you don't have to time. And he decides to take a damage on the last guy, and he manages to get through perfectly. So almost perfect level 9 from Eraser. And meanwhile, Exedzel is having his second shot at level 9, and this time he has full HP past the second guard, which is really good because you need it for the last guard, as I said earlier. Eraser getting the turnaround in level 10, which is actually super important because it helps deal with this guard by putting you in a good position. And nice sync climbing by both of them, except they are just in different levels. And Eraser with full HP going to deal with the yellow guard. This yellow guard is the only guard in the game that have we have to kill in NMG, and Eraser getting parried, but he has no problems disposing the guard, and he will continue to his approach to the jingle skip, first jingle skip of the run. So this is kind of scary with 1 HP, but someone experienced like Eraser know exactly what to do, and he deals with the orange guard perfectly. And since the guard kill music plays, that overrides the jingle at the end of the level, and it actually saves a significant amount of time. And Eraser starting level 11, going through it perfectly. And he's going for the hard jump and he gets it. So at this point, there is little to stop Eraser from winning this match. And he does the strat to put away the sword and take it out again. Beautiful stuff there. Exedzel taking damage on the first card in level 10, which is not good. And Eraser getting a good pattern for the guard. Oh, so Eraser tried to do something called the coin flip strat, where there is a chance the enemy will try to attack the prince but fall into his own doom. But Eraser didn't get it, so he has to hear the jingle now. But it hardly matters anyway. The more important thing is that he didn't die and he completed level 11, and he's on to level 12 now, which is a kind of boring climb, but it's a test of your concentration basically. and get a little bit of time to relax before having to fight Jaffa. Exedzel deals perfectly with the last guard in level 10, even though he doesn't do the jingle skip. I think it was a smart thing for him to take it safe there. Like, not dying is the more important thing for him now because who knows? Maybe Eraser will sleep during level 12 and Exedzel will be in the lead with all the levels complete, so you never know. Exedzel also dealing with these styles perfectly. Eraser having a little bit of hiccup there, and this is actually a very common mistake because you want to hold right, but you are a little bit scared to hold right for too long because if running input gets buffered, you will fall to your death. So I don't blame Eraser for having this hiccup, but he finishes level 12 and he doesn't get hit by the tiles, which is really good, and he will approach the Jafar fight. Only that is stopping him from taking the first match now. So Eraser tried to go for the backstab strap, but unfortunately he missed. But it doesn't matter. He knows how to deal with Jafar when the strat fails. So he just parries, waits, and attacks, and repeats that again and again to finish, push Jafar off the edge there, and he takes the first run. Meanwhile, Exedzel is climbing level 12 and he is giving a couple of heart attacks by jumping a little too early, but he can just grab and continue. So Eraser is in the Hall of Fame. He is confident. He wants to boast. Meanwhile, Exedzel is giving another heart attack. So even though Eraser, other than level 8, he basically played perfectly, and Exedzel with some weird strats. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Oh no, he falls to his death. So he has to do this level again. So I was trying to say, like, Eraser played basically perfectly, other than that level 8 death and maybe the start of level 2. So Exedzel should be really proud of what he has achieved because now Eraser knows that if he does a mistake more than once, or maybe even once, and if Exedzel played the way he played until the end of level 9, it's over. So this match is getting really interesting, and that's why it's never over in the best of 3 format, as we saw in the Esteban vs. Shawing match, where even though Shawing even lost 40 seconds in the first level, he was able to catch up to Esteban, and Esteban died at the end of level 9, which is basically the holy grail of run killers. Eraser doing level 14 again to get the Hall of Fame screenshot, which is a formality that's needed for this tournament. Exedzel with the interesting strat there to merge with his shadow, and he will proceed to fight against Jafar, but unfortunately he gets hit by the tile. But doesn't matter at this point. Just finish the run and relax, and you know you are in a good position to start match two. Okay, okay. Unfortunately, he is in 1 HP, but thankfully he manages to close out the fight. That was really clutch by him. And now he just have to finish this level and he will be done with this time. So Eraser getting a sub 20 while Exedzel getting a 23:47. But the times do not suggest how close this match was until level 9 basically. And once at Exedzel took the death, there was no stopping Eraser. But this will sets up the next match really good, spicy, and Exedzel is just typing his Hall of Fame. Pizza lost that one. The sad face. He shouldn't feel sad about this run. He did great. Okay, so round two. We are black in sync again. Always fun to see that. Once again, Exedzel doesn't need to do setups to get this card in the perfect position. They both are in sync still, and life is good. So this level had a lot of variations of strats, but finally when IN86 ran his routing bot called Jafar, like the optimal version of this level's movement was found, and it's really great. It's kind of an auto scroller if you know like the exact movements that you're doing. And now let's the RNG fun begin. Both of them getting a good pattern, but Exedzel with a slightly better pattern. And he managed to make up a little bit of time. He lost over Eraser in level 1, and Eraser had a little bit better guard too. So he takes the lead as expected from someone like him. Both of them dealing beautifully with the orange guard as well. And let's see what the third guard does. Okay, Exedzel being a little bit safer, but that's the job, and life is good. Exedzel with full HP does the tile skip this time, and he is chasing Eraser, while Eraser making no mistakes this time in level 2, taking the lead into level 3. Eraser with a little bit of hiccup at the start of level 3 that allows Exedzel to catch up just a little bit. I like how they're basically one standing jump away. This is really great. I, we may see the sink again in this next section. Yeah, beautiful stuff. I really love how that standing jump skip sync looks. And here we may see Exedzel close the gap. Yeah. So he does the restart. So he might have closed the gap just a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Like Eraser is too good in movement in this section. He does the turnaround. He gets the button, basic almost flawless movement from Eraser there. But Exedzel also getting the turnaround. So he's still chasing Eraser quite a bit. And this is almost like a deja vu of the last match. With Eraser with slightly better execution being in the lead, but Exegel almost in the behind, putting pressure on Eraser to not take a death basically. Eraser starting level 4, and both of them are approaching the turnaround. And Eraser once again getting the turnaround and the grab in the next screen as well. Exegel also gets the turnaround this time. It's really good because last time that is one of the things that allowed Eraser to get decently, but unfortunately this guard, purple guard is causing a little bit of troll to Exegel, but he manages to get past him. Eraser once again deciding to not kill the yellow guard because he knows he has to maintain his lead. And Exegel also opting to not kill the guard, which is a risky move, but it makes the return part much more interesting from a viewer perspective at least. And Eraser, even though he stopped a little bit, he deals with the guard on the way back perfectly. Exedzel stopping a little bit early, but it doesn't matter. He also gets past perfectly. So far, this is beautiful stuff from both of them. So Eraser passed the first guard with no problem, and same for Exedzel. He also deals with the first guard with no problem. Eraser trying to do the risky strat once again. He takes a damage, and no, Eraser taking a death in level 5, and Exegel is officially in a lead now. This is really exciting from that point of view. Exegel also having trouble with the guard, but luckily he doesn't die, so doesn't matter. He deals with the yellow guard perfectly. He is approaching the green guard, and he deals with the green guard nicely as well. And he will finish level 5 with the lead. This is really exciting stuff because now we again get to see how Eraser will try to catch up with his execution, while now Exegel needs to do is basically try to keep his lead by playing it safe and not dying. That's all he needs to do. He gets a really good fight. I mean, really good pattern, I guess, in level 6. And he It's basically one level 6 ahead of Eraser, but Eraser, as we know, can catch up really quick. Eraser also dealing with the fat card perfectly, while Exedzel decides to deal with the orange card in this way. He waits and he is approaching the turnaround, and this time Exedzel gets the turnaround. This is some really sensational stuff because this means Exedzel will keep his lead. Now all he needs to do is get a good Roberto, and that will be really good. And Roberto allows Exedzel to pass through without any problem. This is really good for Exedzel as he maintains his lead going into level 8. And Eraser is approaching Roberto as well. And he also gets through Roberto without any problems. It's almost like someone bribed Roberto to play nicely today. And he is coming for Exedzel, who is about to start level 8. Exedzel getting a good first guard. Eraser starting level 8 while Exedzel is approaching the green guard. So the first guard is not cooperating with Eraser for the second time in a row, which is really, really rare considering he is one of the more deterministic guards in the game, relatively speaking. And Exedzel is starting his approach to Mouseless once he deals with this green guard here. Perfect. He has taken 1 damage from the below guard, so that might be a little bit risky, but let's see how he deals with it. Oh no, Exedzel dies to the orange guard. This is why, like in the later levels of the game, HP is so important because you never know when you will get hit by the guards, especially if you are not in a good position to switch with them. They can destroy everything. While meanwhile, Eraser gets his mouseless first try this time, and he is on his way, and he gets the turnaround, and he gets the damageless merciless for the second time in a row, and he is just cruising past level 8. And since his death in level 5, like Eraser has basically played perfectly, which is really impressive considering the difficulty of level 6, 7, especially 7 and 8, basically. Exedzel trying to approach the Mouthless for second time, and once again he has only 2 HP. Oh no, Exedzel has succumbed to the guard once again. So now Eraser's lead is really solid, and Exedzel takes one more death, but at least that one is really quick. Meanwhile, Eraser is dealing perfectly with the level 9 guards. He knows what he's doing. Like when you get into a good position with the guards, it's really easy for someone like Eraser to deal with it. Like with his experience, he knows almost every pattern that can happen. So Exedzel finally dealing with the first guard in level 8, and thankfully this time he's going to the upper floor with full HP. He has to do a turnaround there, but it's okay. He reached the upper floor with full HP, and that's all that matters. And who knows if Eraser misses one step and somehow dies at the end of this level. Like he will be losing 2 minutes. Eraser once again doing the alignment standing jump trick, and Eraser with the, I guess, unplanned standing jump at the start of that row. But it doesn't matter. He goes past the last guard and finishes the level in style. Meanwhile, Exedzel is having some problems with the orange guard again. Like this time, he has closed the door, but Exedzel is an experienced player of the game. He knows what to do. He goes back past the jumpers, activates the button, and continues his approach to Mouseless like a champ. Eraser once again having good level 10 first guard, and he got the funny pattern where the guard basically blocks, but you can put your sword away and leave while you watch the guard fall to his death. Always fun. This time Eraser got an even better fight for the mandatory guard, while Exedzel is starting his level 9. Eraser killing the last guard and doing the jingle skip once again. He does it perfectly and goes to level 11. At this point, like the only thing that can stop Eraser is either himself, like losing concentration and falling in level 12. But for someone of his caliber, it's very unlikely to happen. Or maybe he will try to go for some kind of risky strat and lose some time. Let's see. Eraser losing a little bit of time to that guard RNG, but it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, Exedzel is struggling a little bit with the turnaround, but he proceeds. Doesn't matter. Eraser getting a good pattern for the final guard as well, and he hopes to get the jingle skip this time, and he goes for the coin toss again, and he doesn't get it. Doesn't matter, like he didn't die in level 11, and he will proceed to level 12, and that's all that matters at this stage of the match. Meanwhile, Exegel having some trouble with the level 9 guards, and he is approaching the last guard with 2 HP, which is better than what happened to him last turn, but it's still 1 HP less than what I would like. Oh, Exegel doing a nice turnaround on both sides. It's a really interesting way to deal with that section. He stops before the chomper. Meanwhile, Eraser is climbing level 12 as usual, trying to not lose his focus because like even though like this section has no RNG, every time you can be perfect, you still need to not lose focus and the like be mindful of where you are basically because in this section many places look kind of the same and it's kind of easy to think you are in some place and you are actually somewhere else and you will just fall to your death basically. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't have any hiccups and he merges with his shadow and proceeds to the Jafar fight. Meanwhile, Exedzel has finished level 9 and is into level 10. Really good sense stuff from both players here. Exedzel coming back and deciding that he needs to take that portion, which is a good call, honestly. And Exegel Eraser trying to get the backstab once again, but misses. But it doesn't matter. He knows how to deal with Jaffa in this situation. And time. Wait, why is the timer still running? And why is the door not open? Did Eraser miss something? He killed Jafar, right? Oh, now Jafar continues. So actually, what happened there is a kind of trick in this game where basically uh, if you push an enemy over the edge and then go to another screen, like they won't continue falling until you go to that screen once again. So that's what happened there. Eraser, after killing Jafar, went back to the previous screen a little too early. So that's why Jaffa was hanging in the air for a while there until Eraser came back to that room. But it doesn't matter. Eraser completes his run with the time of 1924 and he writes LMFAO in the Hall of Fame because he cannot believe what happened with him there with Jaffa. Exedzel getting parried a lot by the last guard. But it doesn't matter at this point. So if I'm not wrong, Eraser is the only person in the tournament so far to get a sub 20 time twice in a row. So which is really great. Shows some consistency. And Exedzel does the jingle skip this time. It's really sensational stuff by him. So at this point, it's really important to talk about how even though Eraser seemed to have beaten convincingly, but in both the matches, Exedzel played really well until level 9 and level 8 respectively, and he even had the lead against Eraser, just a couple of mistakes less, and the match could have gone either way. And he's trying to finish his run now, having a good time being in the voice chat with Teresa. It's just fun. Like now, all the pressure is gone. All he needs to do is just play the game and have fun. And Eraser, like we can say goodbye to him since he turned off his video. good stuff. Now, Exedzel has only two levels left to, and yeah. So now Eraser will move to the third round of the tournament, while Exedzel will play in the second chance bracket round one. And this run is important for him to show that he is not a slouch basically. So he will show Exedzel dealing with the level perfectly this time. No heart attack jumps so far at least. And do the turnaround here and jump and stop here at the perfect time. So other than that level 8 where he took a couple of deaths, this is actually a really solid run from Exedzel. So the like I said before, the time and the score doesn't suggest how close and exciting this match was. Oh, unfortunately, he takes a hard fall there and loses HP, which might actually be important for Jafar, but it doesn't matter. And he takes a tile there, but he continues his ascent to fight with Jafar, and he will be done with this run. And even though he lost, like he can be really proud of himself because he has shown some good consistency throughout the tournament, and it's not as easy as it looks this game. Just one or two wrong inputs can cost you minutes, and that's what decided this match basically. Like who did less amount of wrong inputs and lost lesser minutes. So yeah, that's it for this match. So what this means for the bracket. So basically, since Eraser has beaten Exedzel, he is go to the round three, as I mentioned earlier, and Exedzel will move to second chance bracket round one, where he will play against IN86. So congrats to both of them, and best of luck to both of them for their next round. And we will see you there. That's it, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.